The Caribbean Examination Council issued a 19th May statement to the public after an investigation confirmed the leak of a Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) Math Paper 2 the day before candidates sat the 17th May 2023 exam. CXC released a statement that was read in an online press conference by Dr. Wayne Wesley, the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of CXC. This is what he had to report regarding the leak.
The security measures which CXC has put in place has led to us locating the country as Jamaica and the examination center there, where the leak originated. In discussion with the Ministry of Education Youth, the matter will be dealt with following CXC's security protocols. CXC and regional ministries of education recognize that candidates have spent months preparing for their mathematics Paper 2 examinations. The news of the security breach of the examination has caused much anxiety and concern. As a result of the breach and the compromise of the examination, as well as consideration for mental health and well-being of our candidates, and timely release of results along with matriculation requirements, CXC has determined that grades for this examination will be awarded using the modified approach. The modified approach entails assessment of the school-based assessment, which includes Paper 3-2, and Paper 1, which is the multiple choice paper. This decision was communicated to the regional ministries of education in our meeting this morning. CXC would like to reassure candidates that the security of the regional examination, is paramount, and their best interests continue to be at the center of the organization's decisions and processes.
Dr. Wesley also indicated that further investigations will determine how widespread the leak would have been in terms of access to the leaked math paper. Then Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
On April 23, the police into a supermarket on Keon Street across the road from Uncle T's restaurant was robbed on Sunday night, according to a report from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. The police said they responded to the report of a robbery which is reported to have occurred at around 10:27 p.m. on April 23. The police interviewed the store's owner following the incident and learned that two masked men dressed
It's beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
Want to buy some fresh fruits, vegetables, or ground provision, but don't have the time to go to the market or even to find parking? Look no further. Green Market and Delivery is your solution. Green Market and Delivery is an e-commerce store that sells and delivers local produce to customers in St. Kitts and Nevis. Anything you purchase, you can get fresh from the market and delivered directly to your door. Log on to www.greenmarketskn.com. Click on the e-store link, choose your items, and shop away. We have a wide array of products from fruits, vegetables, local products, spices and seasonings, and much more. Save time and energy. Shop on greenmarketskn.com, your one-stop shop for fresh local produce.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune into Voice of the Caribbean Radio for great Caribbean programs, news, entertainment, sports, and current affairs. Wake up each morning and be inspired with One Day at a Time with Kim Huey. Stay abreast with news across the Caribbean and internationally with the Caribbean News Hour, and be entertained with shows like Reggaeville, Caribbean Classics, and Jive Music Show. Visit our website, download our Android mobile app, or listen us on TuneIn Radio. There is so much more on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check website or app for program schedule.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
With airlift being an important component for economic advancement, Marshall Henderson, Minister with responsibility for tourism and civil aviation, said efforts are being made to improve regional and international airlift into St. Kitts and Nevis. The Inter-Caribbean service recently introduced between Barbados and St. Kitts has done very well, she said, disclosing that in just a matter of days the airline will begin using the larger ATR aircraft to service the route. Minister Henderson spoke of the necessity to increase airlift into the Federation and the associated matter of available room stock.
We would have the announcement as it relates to additional lift regionally and additional lifts internationally within maybe another month or two. The strategy as it relates to airlift also helps with stay over. The reason that we are behind, and when I say behind, not where we want to be, because the numbers have shown that airlift, stay over would have increased, stay over visitors increased when you do the comparison from 2019 and 2023, we would have seen an increase in stay over visitors during the months of January, February, and March when we did that analysis last month. But where we are in terms of getting more stay over visitors has a lot to do with our airlift and our challenges with airlift. It also has to do with lack of not having enough room stock. And so we continue on our strategy to get investors and partners with us in the industry in the building of additional hotels so that we can improve our room stock. So we have our Minister of Economic Development and our Prime Minister working along with us in the ministry to get investors who will come and build the hotels. So it's a twofold thing. You work on airlift and you work on your room stock to help with stayovers.
According to industry experts, increasing airlift and room stock will require both short and medium-term strategies in the highly competitive tourism environment. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
Diamond Real Estate celebrates its first anniversary. Headed by realtor Velma Merchant, Diamond Real Estate has earned a reputation of being a very thorough and efficient real estate company. Ms. Merchant, on the occasion of the first anniversary, made a short address in this video posted on social media.
I came up with the name Diamond Real Estate and Management St. Kitts. I prayed about it and the name was revealed to me. And when you spell out the name Diamond Real Estate and Management St. Kitts, you had the acronym DREAMS, Dreams. Come with me for a quick house tour. to celebrate our 1-year milestone, and thank you for choosing Diamond Real Estate as your realtor.
Diamond Real Estate is located at Shadwell Industrial Estate. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
It's beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
Want to buy some fresh fruits, vegetables, or ground provision, but don't have the time to go to the market or even to find parking? Look no further. Green Market and Delivery is your solution. Green Market and Delivery is an e-commerce store that sells and delivers local produce to customers in St. Kitts and Nevis. Anything you purchase, you can get fresh from the market and delivered directly to your door. Log on to www.greenmarketskn.com. Click on the e-store link, choose your items, and shop away. We have a wide array of products from fruits, vegetables, local products, spices and seasonings, and much more. Save time and energy. Shop on greenmarketskn.com, your one-stop shop for fresh local produce.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune into Voice of the Caribbean Radio for great Caribbean programs, news, entertainment, sports, and current affairs. Wake up each morning and be inspired with One Day at a Time with Kim Huey. Stay abreast with news across the Caribbean and internationally with the Caribbean News Hour, and be entertained with shows like Reggaeville, Caribbean Classics, and Jive Music Show. Visit our website, download our Android mobile app, or listen us on TuneIn Radio. There is so much more on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check website or app for program schedule.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
Onessie was shot when she was entering her home in Port-au-Prince. She had just arrived from work when a stray bullet hit her back. That was 2 months ago, but the bullet has not been removed because she was told at the hospital there were no doctors available to remove it.
I was here talking to my neighbour and I felt something hit me in the back. I heard the kids scream, "Mum got shot." I still have the bullet in my back. The situation now each day is very bad. We cannot live in peace.
Haiti is in chaos, caught in battles between rival gangs.
Barricades like this one are being set up all around Port-au-Prince, and people are using them not only to prevent their neighborhoods from being attacked by gangs, but also to prevent gangs from moving freely. This road connects the commune of Pétionville with another area that is not far away, and we're told that it was being used by gangs to move people that had been kidnapped.
Esaye Julgelin is a political activist. He says the government is not doing enough to fight the gangs, and that's why he's protecting his neighborhood.
It costs so much money for a regular Haitian to get anything out of customs, but every day guns are coming through our customs. There are more than 1 million guns, and the closest port is in Florida.
Tired Haitians have started to go after the gangs themselves and have killed and set on fire dozens of suspected gang members.
La mission de ce gouvernement.
A political crisis is complicating the situation in Haiti even more. Ariel Henry became the interim prime minister when President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated in 2021. But he was not ratified in Congress. The last national elections happened in 2016. Members of the opposition formed what is known as the Montana Accord to create a transitional government, but they have failed to convince the government to step down.
There's a nexus between the political elite and the coalition of political or criminal groups in the country. So if we don't break this nexus between the political and economic elite and this coalition of criminal groups, there's no way we can talk about security in the country.
The ongoing stalemate is prolonging the suffering of the Haitian people, caught between the gang warfare and the government's inability to end it. Teresa Wo, Al Jazeera, Port-au-Prince.
A widely publicized violent crime reduction plan is not panning out as penned by top cop Earl Harewood Christopher.
For our 20% reduction in murders, of course, we are not able. So we are challenged here. We have a 10% increase in murders.
Her update to a joint select committee on Wednesday comes 2 months after her first appearance. Back then, she announced that a series of anti-crime strategies will be implemented to stem the bloodletting in the country. Results, she said, were expected by June. After recently rating her performance in office as excellent, Harewood Christopher has failed to replicate the success in her anti-crime plan, missing the mark also in the reduction of motor vehicle larceny, violent crimes, and the murder detection rate. She, however, noted a reduction in serious reported crimes. Results summed up by Deputy Top Cop Kurt Simon as
minuscule. It is conversant with what happens globally in the criminal justice arena.
Harewood Christopher said despite the challenges, she was committed to strengthening the criminal justice system.
What we are in the process of doing is the rehiring of experienced investigators, officers who would have retired, who are competent to assist in the training of our officers.
With the detection rate languishing at 29%, the Top Cop assured steps are being taken to improve the figure and strengthen other areas. Jesse Ramdale, CNC3 News.
Former enemies, now allies, paying their respects at the site of one of the single most horrific attacks carried out in war. At the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, a show of unity from the G7 in response to new dangers in a world seemingly imperiled by new conflicts. Seated for their first session, a working lunch, the 7+ EU leaders heard from the host about the mounting global challenges they face.
The world is currently confronting complex crises, such as the pandemic, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Facing these, the G7, which shares fundamental values, must effectively respond to the key issues of the international community and lead the world.
On this first day of the summit, the biggest news was made by a world leader who wasn't here, President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, but who was widely reported to be planning to attend in person on the last day instead of by video link. Speculation that was later denied by Kyiv. The G7 has issued a lengthy statement reaffirming its support for Ukraine and condemning the Russian invasion. It adds that a just peace can never be realized without Russia completely withdrawing its troops, and that this should be included in any call for peace. That's seen as a sideways swipe against China, whose peace plan has called for a ceasefire without Russia first giving up any of the territory it has seized. Adding to the pressures on Russia, a new raft of sanctions has been announced, as well as steps to stop Moscow getting around them.
We are now focused on shutting the door on loopholes and continuing to cut Russia off from critical supplies. We will restrict trade in Russian diamonds. Russian diamonds are not forever.
This summit being hosted by the only country to have been the victim of an atomic attack, with the agenda dominated by Ukraine, facing its own present-day wartime nuclear threat. Rob McBride, Al Jazeera, Hiroshima, Japan.
Italy's farm lobby says heavy rain and flooding has caused incalculable damage to land in the north. At least 13 people have been killed, while 10,000 more have been displaced by the storm. We have Huda Abdelhamid, who's joining us now from near Imola in northeastern Italy. So, Huda, it's being described as Italy's worst flooding in 100 years. How extensive is the damage?
Well, actually, we've been traveling around the villages here in the area in Reggio Emilia, Emilia-Romagna, rather. And I have to say that, you know, what we see over and over again is more or less like these streets completely flooded. There are people who are still in their houses, and we did see the civil protection going to them, trying to get them either out or bring them food and water. Now, we went to other villages where there is no, for example, network coverage whatsoever. There is no electricity. We saw people queuing by water tankers because also the water treatment plant in the area has been completely flooded. And then we went to a village called Sant Agata, and there people described that they had water up to 1.6 meters in their house. We saw them really shoveling all their belongings into the mud. Quite a disastrous scene to witness in this part of the country, and people are actually quite angry because they say that rescue is coming quite late, and also they blame the poor infrastructure that is around this area.
Okay, we'll let you go for now. Thank you, Huda, for that update from Italy.
Anissa Mohammed led Trinidad and Tobago's Red Force Divas to their third win in the CG United Women's Super 50 Cup. She contributed 54 not out versus Guyana on the final day of the tournament on Wednesday. But taking the player of the match honours was Steffi Sugrim, who had a sensational 6-wicket haul to propel TNT to his 77-run victory at St. Paul's Ground. Topping the tournament for the 5th time are the Barbados women, who executed a 7-wicket victory over the Leeward Islands at Warner Park to be crowned CG United Women's Super 50 Cup winners. Batting first, the Leewards posted 74 all-out in 27.2 overs. Barbados' best bowler was Seema Shakira Selman, who finished with figures of 3 for 9 in 5 overs. Barbados cruised to the target for the loss of 3 wickets, with Aaliyah Allen top scoring with 21 not out to help secure the 7-wicket win with 228 balls remaining. Attention now turns to the T20 Blaze, which begins on Saturday with 3 matches at Warner Park in St. Kitts. The marquee matchup will begin at 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time between Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados. Wayne Cunningham, TTT Sport.